everybody, welcome back. Now you may be thinking my professional income tax declaring structure is not doing me any favors. I'm pretty sure that I would be better off declaring corporation tax, and you may well be right. But if you don't know how corporation tax works, then that would be enough to make you hesitate, right? Because nobody wants to jump out of the frying pan and into the fire. So today we're going to do the ABC of corporation tax, and we're going to look at how much it's calculated on, how much it's calculated at, when you have to pay it, and also very, very importantly, how you can keep track of it, because if you can't plan, then you may not be able to pay. And knowledge is power, and forewarned is forearmed, and all of those things that your mom and your school principal used to say to you when you were little, right? So quick recap. If you have an income tax declaring regime, which would typically be an Entreprise individuelle, then all of the profit you make is subject to social charges and income tax. Whether you spend it all or not, whether you draw it all or not, whether you move it from your professional account to your personal account or not, it is all subject to social charges and income tax. However, when you pay corporation tax, only the money that you withdraw from your business is subject to social charges and income tax, and any profit that you leave in your business, well, your business will pay its own tax on. That's the corporation tax, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you haven't been here before, my name is Lisa. I gained a French accountancy qualification about 20 years ago. I have worked in accounting. I now work in consulting, and all of my contacts are in the description. And if you're not ready for a consultation, then you cannot do better than downloading this ebook. Will, in any case, make a consultation much more meaningful for you. So what is your corporation tax calculated on? What is calculated on your profit? That's just really simple, isn't it? Imagine that you have 100,000 euros worth of turnover and 80,000 euros worth of deductible expenses. Then you have 20 grand in profit. In this 80,000 euros of deductible expenses are included the money that you draw for yourself, and also the social charges that are payable on that money. These are all deductible. Do be careful with your other deductible expenses. If you put other things through expenses, you pay with your professional account, but they are not actually acceptable as expenses, then they will be reintegrated into your profit. So lower expenses means higher profit means higher corporation tax. If you put through things like speeding fines or parking fines, or if you put through nice lunches, which were actually for friends or family and not for clients, or you have kind of nice weekend hotel stays, which were much more jollies than any kind of business expenses, then those are going to find their way back in. And instead of 20,000 euros in profit, you may find yourself with 25,000 euros worth of profit, and therefore of taxable profit. So how much is your tax calculated at? Well, unless you're a multi-billionaire, don't know about you, but I don't need to worry about the super tax banding. If you're a mere mortal like me, then we only have to worry about the first two tax bandings. The first one goes up to 42,500 euros. Up to this amount that you leave in your business is charged at 15%. Anything over and above 42,500 euros is taxed at 25%. There is a proposition in the new budget, which will be voted before the end of the year, supposedly, to bring up that first tax banding from 42,500 euros to 100,000 euros, which would be amazing. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but I am keeping my fingers crossed, and it would be great if this budget could bring some good news for some of us and not just bad news for all of us. So if you want to keep your fingers crossed too, that would be great. In the meantime, if you have 20,000 euros worth of profit, then that's going to cost you 3,000 euros in corporation tax. If you have 30,000 euros worth of profit, that's going to cost you 4,500 euros in corporation tax. Now, when do you have to pay it? Very good question. Not enough to know how much we need to pay, also need to know when we need to pay it. Otherwise, we're going to have cash flow problems. If your business year runs from January to December, then you have until the beginning of May to make your tax submission. If your business year runs from any other time, March to March, June to June, whatever, then you have 3 months from the end of your business year to make your tax submission. And if you have 3,000 euros or less to pay in corporation tax, then you have to pay that money all in one go. So the money needs to be there. If you have more than €3,000 to pay in corporation tax, then we have 4 fixed dates throughout the year, same for everybody, regardless of the size of your business or the amount of your profit or the amount of your tax. And the dates are 15th of March, 15th of June, 15th of September, and 15th of December. So imagine you have €4,000 worth of corporation tax to pay, because that makes it very easy. Then we pay 1,000 in March, 1,000 in June, 1,000 in September, 1,000 in December, and then it's done. Now, in our first and second year, it's not going to be like this, and this is something to be very aware of, because your first exercise, you're going to do the whole thing without paying any tax at all. You haven't made any profit yet, you haven't declared any profit yet, the tax office doesn't know what your profit, you don't know what your profit is. So you're going to be going along, la la la, working, earning money, and not paying anything. And then when you get to the end of your first exercise and you declare your profit, you make your tax submission, then you have to have that money ready to go. Let's imagine that you have €4,000 to pay. Then in May, let's say it's May, you have to pay your €4,000, but then in June, the tax office is going to say, okay, you earned this much last year and you have €4,000 to pay. So now we have the estimate for our base for this year. So you paid €4,000 last year, now we're in June, we need €1,000 from you, so you'll pay 4,000 in May, and then you need to have another 1,000 ready in June, and then 1,000 in September, and then 1,000 in December, and then you will also have to catch up. So this, if you don't want this to be a cash flow problem, then you need to be very, very aware of this. How can you keep track of it? Well, this is a $4,000 question, isn't it? Except it doesn't cost you $4,000. What you need to do, I'm showing you this. These are not my accounts, but they do come from the same accounting app that I use, which is Dogs. Some of you know that I work with Dogs. I've left a link to Dogs in the description for you. It will give you 2 months free accounting. And if we look at it, then what you can see is that at any time of day or night, I can log on and I can see exactly what my turnover is, exactly what my expenses are, and exactly what my profit is so far in the year. So I don't need to wait until the end of the year to ask my accountant how much money I made the previous year. I can always see. And if I zoom in, what you can see is that I have estimates for the end of the year based on my averages so far. So based on the figures that I've done so far, the app is telling me that by the end of the year, I should have this much in turnover, this much in expenses, and this much in profit. And obviously, if my figures go up dramatically, then this is going to change. And if my figures drop dramatically, then this is also going to change. But it allows me always to know exactly where I am and exactly what I need to plan for. There is nothing to beat it for planning or budgeting. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.